Welcome back to the channel. My name is Will. Today we are talking about storm anxiety. So if you've been following along with the vlogs, you know that I am shooting this while I'm waiting 6 to 8 hours to pick up Enzo. I'm keeping myself mentally busy. I'm keeping myself awake. Otherwise, I will sit here and stress and worry about Enzo. If you don't know what's going on with that, I'm sure that vlog's already up. You can check that out. Or if you follow the pups on Instagram, shameless plug, you should. I've been constantly updating the story throughout the day, so you would already basically know what's going on. This is the second video of the anxiety topic. Lotus has a lot of anxiety, and a lot of that is around storms and car rides. Some dogs, yes, you can get them to a point where they're okay with it. Some dogs do not. And I'm not saying Lotus won't ever get to a point where he's okay with storms, but based on, again, if you've seen the car ride video, he's not necessarily that type of dog where he just will overcome something permanently necessarily. You know, maybe with enough time, but he's almost 3 years old. We've been working on this stuff for 3 years and we're not there yet, but we're getting better. Before we get into the specifics of some of the things that we do that help and that you might be able to use, and I want to go over some broad things, and that is why they're afraid of storms. So it could be a few different reasons. It could be like thunder and lightning, loud noises. Obviously they don't know what that is. It scares them. Enzo will actually get a little, if the thunder gets too bad, he's like, no, this is not cool. Obviously the rain in general, making noise, if it's raining really hard or hailing or anything like that, that can do it. But the other thing is they can sense the pressure difference. Enzo will it will only bother him if it's like real loud, close lightning, thunder. Lotus though, oftentimes, even if it doesn't storm, if it just starts to look like it's gonna storm, like you know there's a storm somewhere nearby off in the distance, he can start to panic. Likewise, if a storm forms real quick, just kind of like out of nowhere, and then is kind of gone, like those short little like 20-minute showers that just kind of randomly show up one day and then disappear. Sometimes if I see that coming and I get enough ambient noise going, he doesn't even notice it because like there's not even like enough time for the pressure to change or anything. Or it could be something else, which we'll talk about in a second. But with him, it's definitely more the pressure though, unless it's just like a real fast storm where I guess that doesn't form. It doesn't matter if we desensitize him to the thunder and lightning or the noise of rain, that pressure, you just can't do anything about that. The third thing it could be bothering them, some experts say, is that they can actually feel like static electricity build up, and so it could actually physically be painful. I don't know that that's necessarily the case with him. I do know though, if you have a dog that is like constantly trying to get into like a bathtub or something, that could be a sign of that. Or if they only seem okay in the basement, like on concrete, basically floors that are grounded kind of thing or insulated. You can read more about that. I don't know much about that. You know, there's still some debate out there, I think, whether or not they can feel that. So obviously if that's something that's affecting your dog, you can't simulate that either. So again, well, okay, sorry, memory card got full. Apparently, if you vlog all day, spending hours at the vet, and then try to shoot videos, you run out of memory card space. Anyways, I don't know exactly where that cut off, but basically, this video is everything that we're doing. A lot of this will help, I hope, some of you. If you are having a dog that is experiencing like the static thing, you've confirmed that or something, a lot of this will still apply. So let's get into it. If I haven't already mentioned this, I'm not a vet. Ralli is, and we got Ralli though. Okay, put her down, yeah. Well, I can't afford her consult, so she can't be bothered right now. That being said, you know, this is just stuff that we do that helps us. You know, you can obviously talk to a vet, you can do your own research. If you have questions, leave them below. I'd be happy to answer them best we can. The first thing is safe space. Now for Lotus, he has two big, technically three, but his big safe space upstairs, he likes to go in the bathroom. He doesn't try to get in the tub or anything, but he does like to go in the bathroom. That could be, you know, that could be something to do with that electric static buildup because it is tile in there. If we're in the basement, he will sometimes go in the corner, but he likes to go in the closet that we have. And if it's at night, we're in the bedroom, I'll open the closet door and he likes to go in there because I think he just feels, you know, confined and safer. So oftentimes confined spaces, they like that. You know, other things could be their crate. Now, if he's being bothered by storms and stuff, a lot of times I'll put a blanket over the crate. Remember, you need to make sure there's airflow going and stuff like that. Also, keep in mind that you don't want to lock anything. Now, I have locked his crate before, but I'm literally sitting right next to it, like with my hand through it, like he can feel me and stuff. But like I don't lock it and then walk away. I don't lock him in the closet or anything like that because that can create anxiety in itself because then they panic and crazy things can happen where dogs go through drywall and doors and stuff. So you don't want to do that. You don't want them to hurt your house or themselves. If you have a dog will do that sort of stuff, that's when you need to look into like a really industrial, like crate, kind of like if you've watched the car anxiety video, which I don't know which one's going to go up first, but I mentioned a specific crate, the gunner crate, something like that, where they can't hurt themselves, but they also can't get through it. Calming music. Now, the music has two effects. One is it could help filter out the sound of rain. With Lotus, he feels that pressure and stuff. I could have the music as loud as I want. He's still going to know it's storming. But he also doesn't like hearing that rain and stuff like that, and the wind blows the pergola outside and things like that stress him. So the music, plus the music is actually calming. I've been trying one recently. I'll link it below. It's a YouTube video. It's like 15 hours long, but there's like a 5-minute point around like the 9.5 to like 12.5 where I just kind of keep rewinding and replaying that part because he likes like the birds chirping in the background with the music. I'm thinking I might make my own. It's not that hard to make stuff like that, so I don't know. If that's something you'd be interested in, it wouldn't take me too much effort to make that. I'm probably going to do that for him anyways, but for me to even just give it to you guys, I need to make sure it's royalty free, whereas my own, I can do whatever I want. But yeah, I think the birds just remind him of like spring and, you know, sunny days and stuff, and I think that just helps. Plus, it's kind of like, ooh, what's that? Like, I'm just kind of intrigued. Something I've recently learned and been trying is, you know, making them lay down. Now, you don't want to force them or anything. And in fact, you could even practice this on nice sunny days. Maybe have them lay at the foot of the couch next to you and put them on have like a little leash on them so you can like practice with them laying down and give them treats. Let them know like, hey, if I lay right here, I get treats and stuff. Make that like a known thing. Or if you're going to sit in a specific area with them, you know, maybe you're going to hang out in the bathroom with them. That's fine. Practice that on a sunny day. Hey, lay down. Here's your snack. It's almost like he forgets that he can lay down. He'll do this at night sometimes. So just be like laying there and I'll just like gently just kind of like lay my hand on him and just kind of like gently lay him down. And he'll like, oh yeah, I can lay down. He'll go to sleep. But with the panting, like he'll be like sitting up and panting over the storm. If I can get him to lay down, he will actually calm down. It just kind of naturally like reminds me like, okay, I can relax a little. That is a huge thing that I've learned recently that's been helpful. Now, obviously products. Every time we talk about anxiety, a bunch of you are so helpful. You list all these products. I will say that we've tried just about all of them, from thunder shirts to medications, prescriptions, natural remedies, all this stuff that we've tried. And some of it seems to help, some of it not so much. CBD oil. The thunder shirt is one that like always gets suggested, which is fine. We did try it. We didn't really see like a huge thing, but I will say that I've almost thought about trying it again with some of it combined, because what I find with this stuff is there's no silver bullet. There's no like, my dog was anxious about storms and I did this one thing and now they're fine. It's more like it's a combination of things typically. Kind of like if you have sleep trouble, like Nisha has trouble sleeping a lot of times and she's done a lot of things to help her with that, but it's never been like, oh, this one thing, but it's like a combination of things helps. Let's get into our safe space. Let's turn on some calming music. Maybe we put on a thunder shirt. We make them lay down. All that combined can kind of help. I think I've mentioned this as we've been talking, but treats, you know, I don't do treats so much, but you can, you know, especially if they're being good. Now, if they're being like anxious and fidgeting around and won't sit down or lay down or something, I wouldn't. But if like you've been working on them for laying down and they're laying down, they're being good, maybe, you know, toss them a few treats throughout the storm. Make it a good thing, you know. Oh, there's a storm coming, so we get into our safe closet area that we like, and you sit in there with your laptop and get some work done, and they lay down, you toss them a treat every couple minutes and they makes them feel better maybe, or just in your living room. Our house is so small that we're limited on rooms without windows, but you may not have that problem. You may have like a basement you can go to that's nice and cozy and there's no windows, and you can just sit there on the couch and let them lay on next to your feet and have the same effect. I already talked about this a little bit, but desensitizing. Now, again, if the pressure, or maybe they can feel that static electricity, that's not really much you can desensitize to. But with Enzo, it's just like the loud thunder and lightning and like fireworks. There is potential that you could desensitize them to that if that's the only part. So it's certainly worth trying. If you don't know yet what part is bothering them, then yeah, you could like put on like a YouTube video or something of like rain. Like I would start with just like a light rain, and then like at a real low volume. And if they're fine with that, then you increase the volume a little bit. And then maybe you find some with a little bit of occasional thunder and lightning. If you're having them watch this on your TV speakers, probably not going to have much of an effect. But if you've got like some proper speakers in your house and a sub and stuff that eventually you could work up to, you could potentially see some benefits. It'd take you a while. Probably something you'd want to work on through the winter, to be honest. Spring storm season shows up and they're doing better, then awesome. If it's like it never happened, it's like you never even did anything, then it's probably they're feeling that pressure or that static electricity build up, at which point you're kind of at the same boat that we are with Lotus. I'm not saying it doesn't necessarily help maybe a little bit, but could help for those quick showers, you know, those like sunny day showers and stuff. It might help for stuff like that. So it certainly doesn't hurt to try. Just don't get discouraged if it doesn't really work. Some final things I want to remind you. One thing that's important is you should be calm during this. Now, hopefully you're not afraid of storms, but remember to be relaxed. I suggest, like I said, sit on your couch or sit in a chair. The other day, it was so bad that we were in his closet and I like moved everything out of the closet and I had a stool in there and their cots in there and they were laying in there and I was sitting on a cot with my laptop and I was scripting out this video. I was like, oh, I'm gonna find some work to do and just sitting here and researching and, you know, keeping an eye on him, and the room was dark. And so, I mean, I made it productive and I was calm and relaxed and he was finally able to calm down and relax. Generally, I find it's better to try to stay in one location. You know, I get it if you gotta get up and go to the bathroom or whatever, but if you're planning on having lunch at noon and this storm hits at 11:30 and you're in your safe space, you know, don't eat lunch at noon. Like, push it back a little bit or something. You know, I wouldn't get up, and especially if you get them calm, like, my gosh, I wouldn't undo that unless you just had, like, it was like a super emergency. Like, just wait it out. I mean, generally storms aren't going to be that long. Maybe depending on where you live, it's some massive storm that's going to last all day, then yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But I would try to stay in one place, or if you have a spouse or a roommate or a friend or family member that can help you, you know, hey, you hang out with them for a little bit maybe. Some other things that we do is noise. A lot of times I'll run the HVAC, which not only helps cool the house because he tends to be panting and running a little warmer anyways, but add some air. Okay, we got some laundry in the laundry basket. Might as well do that now, because a lot of times we're down here in the basement during these storms. So then, like, I've got the washer and dryer running, which are adding noise. So just a lot of ambient noise to kind of help, because what can happen is it can get really quiet all of a sudden. Like if you just have the TV on and then the show ends or something, gets really quiet and it's like, oh, he can hear the rain or something. So like I've had experiences like that. So like I crank the air down, like to where it's just not going to turn off. And sometimes, I mean, there was a day where like there literally was no laundry to do. I was like, oh, well, dryer, 1 hour, 2 hours, start, you know, whatever. Like, I don't care. Run, because it's noise for him and it's helpful. So I don't care. Same with the calming music, have that stuff playing. But, you know, if your internet goes out because of the storm, you know, have a backup. Now, if internet and the power goes out, I mean, there's only so much you can do, but do the best you can. If you have any questions or anything, obviously leave them below. I'd be happy to answer them as best we can and keep you guys updated on anything new that we're trying and stuff. All right, we're about out. So I think we're gonna call this video here. All the names you see scrolling, those are all of our Patreons. They support us each and every month. I thank them so much for supporting our family. All of you who watch and subscribe, it means so much. I don't have an update on Enzo right now as I'm filming this outro, but that video should be up. I'll link that video. And, you know, all the people who have commented, I've gotten like probably over 100 comments and messages already from just people wishing us well and wishing him well. It means so much. And, you know, just trying to keep my mind busy. Hopefully it's nothing. And I appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Later.